Hey, what's going on, guys? Langan Plays 7 and 9. We're back again with another video here, and this is probably, to be honest though, my last Walking Dead video, to be honest, until if they have a new game. So, I want to, kind of congratulate Telltale and Skybound together since they worked on it, and we're going to be going every single season of The Walking Dead, and I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinion on every season, and like maybe episodes too that really stood out to me in moments. So, this might be a long episode or a long video, I'm not really sure yet. So let's just hop into this. I'm just gonna start rambling and everything like that. But the first thing is, Skybound today actually talked about there's gonna be more Walking Dead franchises or games, I should say. So to be honest, guys, they're probably not gonna be doing anything like something like Telltale. I doubt if they will. I'm gonna put the link down below if you guys want to read it though. It's not gonna be like Telltale games. I'll tell you like that right now. It won't be nothing like that. So. I doubt it. It's probably just gonna be mostly like Walking Dead Survival Instinct or Walking Dead Overkill type thing. But anyway, let's hop into the video here. So the first thing is Season 1. This is what got me hooked on the game. So you start out as Lee Everett, and from there, as Lee Everett, you sat there, it was pretty cool though, honestly. You talked with an officer, you met like a zombie basically, you ran it over. Lee probably woke up a couple hours later. So the cop did get out, he got bit and everything like that. It was kind of cool and everything like that. You didn't know what was going on. This is actually how I was introduced into The Walking Dead. I knew nothing about it. I believe it was 2012 when season 2 just wrapped up, I'm pretty sure, for the TV show. That's how I got into the TV show, too, to be honest, too. I love the video game so much, I was like, oh, I might as well just watch the show. I have 2 seasons to catch up on. And it wasn't even bad at all. That's what really got me hooked. I loved Lee's character, obviously, in the first episode, which kept me wanting to keep playing. Like, wow, how's he going to survive? Oh, he met a girl named Clementine. And, oh, he wants to protect her. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I didn't know what was going to happen there, so I was like, oh, this is really awesome. So I just kept playing the game as it came out, like the seasons and everything like that. I just waited for the whole thing to come out on disc, and I bought it that way. It's a little bit easier. I didn't know nothing about it, thank God. I didn't watch YouTube or anything back then. I would have been spoiled. But I did actually watch YouTube then, but not like I didn't know anything about it. So it was pretty cool, honestly. The episode 1, you got to meet a lot of people like Larry. What's her name? I don't remember the one name. We also saw Lily, which was pretty cool. I don't. I think it was Doug and I forget the other girl's name. Carly. That's what it was. Okay, Doug and Carly. That's who it was. I was gonna say Carrie, but I was like, that's not right. So that was pretty cool. And then you met Kenny, which is my favorite supportive character. I guess his role is in every episode leading on to season 2. And I don't know. I feel like episode 2 wasn't bad. Everybody's just starving, and it was pretty cool. Honestly, you got to meet I think they were the St. John's or something like that. I don't remember their names. I believe it was the St. John's. I haven't played season 1 in like probably 3 or 4 years, and it was pretty cool meeting St. John's. They were like obviously eating people. It was a time skip from episode 1 to 2. I believe it's about 3 to 6 months into the apocalypse during that time. You meet a new guy named David, I believe his name was, with the glasses. I'm not really sure what his name was. I'm pretty sure it is David though. It was an awesome episode anyway too. Now thinking about it, like obviously went to the St. John farm. Even if you said no, you still go no matter what, which is kind of crazy to me. Like I tried to say no on one of my playthroughs, just playing through it, and no matter what, you still go, which is okay to me. But you just hop onto it anyway. I didn't mind that. Also in the episode, which I thought was really intriguing, is that it depends if you kill Larry or not, or if you help Kenny kill Larry or you let him turn into a walker. I believe you can. I'm not really sure. I never did that part. So if you do that, Lily won't help you shoot one of the St. John's. I don't remember their names. Um, she can help. She can help with Carly, I believe. It's like one of them flip flop and help for you. We also got to meet Ben in the episode. It's pretty cool, honestly. And that's when we found out that you can turn into a zombie after you die too. And honestly, the episode honestly was definitely an 8 or 10, or yeah, 8 or 9 out of 10. It wasn't that bad. I just felt like it was lacking like the first couple minutes. I don't know. Or like not the first couple minutes, I should say probably after when you got back and started talking to the group. I feel it started to lack down a little bit. That's just my personal opinion on episode 2 of season 1. It wasn't bad. Episode 3 was pretty cool as well. We actually got to, I guess you could say it's not really a time jump, but it kind of is at the same time. I believe the episode was called Long Road Ahead, is where we got on a train. It's a pretty short episode. I think it was the shortest in the series actually now. I think since episode 1 of the whole thing. I'm pretty sure this was the shortest episode of Telltale's game. And it was pretty fast, honestly. All he did was mostly hop on the RV and everything like that. And it was pretty cool. He got on the train he found. Duck was one of the other side characters, Kenny's son. He actually dies. He gets bit by a walker. You fight a lot of raiders. They hop into your little motel area. You have to kill them, basically. I'm surprised Lee actually couldn't in this apocalypse. I know he killed the senator or whatever of Georgia by accident or whatever. That's how the story went. And so far, it was pretty good. I was still intrigued by it. I was like, oh man, this is still cool. And then like as soon as we got off the train, I was a little bit nervous. Like Clementine was talking to somebody on the walkie-talkie. I was like, oh man. I was like, what the hell is she doing? I'm like, you're 8 9 years old, right? You should be a little bit smarter now. Just saying, that's just common sense, I think. I don't know. I think that's just how the character was portrayed. Episode 4, obviously, we get to Savannah, which was pretty cool as well, Savannah, Georgia. And obviously, Lee and everything like that. This episode was the longest in the series. I believe it was like 3 or 4 hours it takes to beat that whole episode if it's your first time playing through it. You meet someone named Chuck who is pretty cool. I kind of like this character, to be honest, though. His name was Chuck. He was pretty cool, honestly, overall. I really like this character. So he actually died, actually, which is crazy. You actually got like a first person type thing. You had to save Ben and Clementine, and it was pretty cool. You had to play in first person. The sensitivity was a little bit fast, so I'll never forget that how fast it was. It was like a 10 out of 10 or something like that. It was hard. It's like playing on PC or something like that. And obviously that was pretty cool as well. Chuck came in and saved Clementine basically. Obviously after that, you went down to this house he found and everything like that. Kenny was still nervous because there was like another zombie boy there, and you had to kill it, or you let Kenny kill it. I actually killed it with Lee that time. I didn't feel like he should, honestly, after what Kenny just went through basically in the episode. But other than that, episode 5, or actually episode 4, we should still be talking about. Lee gets bit and everything, which kind of pissed me off, to be honest. I didn't want his character to die. I didn't think he was going to die if you cut his arm off. So if you did cut his arm off, I think it was like the majority. I think it was like 84%, I believe, during that time of Telltale. So if you did not, or if you did cut his arm off, I was hoping that he wouldn't die in the episode. But it was kind of strange to me that if you left his arm on, he would just black out like 3 or 4 times in the episode. But if you cut his arm off, he didn't black out. He just died though. I was kind of confused about that. It was like after what 20 minutes. Like come on now, the final season, Clementine was about to turn basically. Even though it didn't seem right because it takes about a couple hours to turn. I believe it's about 24 hours it could take up to. And for some reason, somehow Clementine didn't turn. Or like her face is getting like that Walker face type turn, like what Lee had. And somehow she was feeling that like the first half hour. I was like, I don't know about that. And then like she, what Telltale pulled, that she survived and everything. They're saying she broke the rules. That's not really true to be honest either. But season 1 honestly was a 10 out of 10 for me. Honestly, I was hoping there would be a season 2 after Clementine was walking through the field where we got to see her meeting Krista again. In season 2. Season 2 was a pretty solid season. A lot of people were complaining about it. I really didn't mind the season. It was definitely for me probably an 8.5 out of 10 to be honest. It was kind of lacking because they tried to do what season 1 did, and this is where Telltale was starting to get a little bit downhill after that. They started taking all these projects and everything like that. They started doing many other games like Game of Thrones, Batman, which actually was pretty successful to be honest though, because I actually played it. It was actually really nice though. The story wasn't too bad. It was a different take on Batman. I really liked that everything was trying to be different about it, but when they tried to do that for The Walking Dead, which they trying to wrap up the final season, basically the final game from Telltale, they did that on purpose just because, they were going to go back and finish what they wanted and what they started. So basically, after episode 1, obviously, you get to meet Kenny, which was awesome in episode 2. I was very excited to see that. Kenny's obviously my favorite character, supportive character. I was pissed off what they did in season 3, which we'll talk about in a minute. Other than season 2, there's something I can really complain about. I didn't really like the 400 Days characters. Bonnie's the only one you mostly interacted with. You got to see Wyatt if you did, or Vince mostly. I think it was the other two girls, Shell and something else. I don't remember their names. You got to see them later on, but they really didn't have any purpose. I felt like the 400 Days characters. I don't know what the point was to add them in season 2. I mean, obviously it's just like a little Easter egg, I guess, but who knows? I guess it's like a bonus thing to make money off of. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was like probably. I guess it takes you about an hour to beat it, the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess you could say, with some of the characters. I forget what the one. Oh, his name is Russell. That's what it was. Russell was a pretty cool character. Though. I kind of liked him. And you got to meet that one dude with the truck. You did see him later on though too, in Wyatt's story, which was cool. But other than that, it was a great season 2. Probably the last episode was kind of shocking. A lot of people died, obviously. I don't know why they did. They killed off the whole entire group you met. From like Luke to Sarah. I think that's what her name was, but it's kind of weird how Luke died. Either way, he would die, right? Luke. He froze to death like so fast, which is crazy in that episode, in episode 5. Rebecca died also, which you get AJ from, which is kind of cool. They kind of wrapped up AJ's story too. I mean, he never met his parents, he doesn't know what a real world is. I kind of liked AJ's character in the final season as well, but like the final episode of season 2. I think it's better to go with Kenny, honestly. If you went with, alright, I'm sorry people out there if you like Jane. Her character is a waste in that episode. I'm sorry. Even when you hop into season three, it was a waste. I think season three pissed many fans off. Like now we're going to season three territory. I think season three was a piss off season, honestly. Like there's nothing good I could really say about it except Javier's character. He's the only character I really enjoyed through the whole entire season. I mean, the New Frontier. I mean, if they made more seasons, I wouldn't be really upset. I just hope that they focus on Javier more, like more than the community. They tried to focus on Javier and the community at the same time with the Richmond's community, I believe it was during that time. I'm not really sure what the community they were in, and I don't know. I just didn't really like the character as much. Trip was a pretty cool character we got to meet on too, with Eleanor and all those other characters. They were pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie about that. I just felt like the airfield area should have been like the home base. You lose that in like the first episode, which is kind of crazy. Javier's character is a little bit bloodthirsty, I think. A little too bloodthirsty. I mean, he had so many options throughout the whole series to drop people in that season. I don't know how I felt about that. I felt like he was just a little bit of a bloodthirsty character. They made him Telltale. I mean, I can understand. They're probably, I think they're about 6 years in now, so it kind of makes sense. Or 5 years in, it kind of makes sense. He just do to survive, right? But it was kind of cool. Nobody really cared for Javier's character. I didn't care for him probably till like episode 3. He seemed a little bit more. They had a 5 episode season as well during that time, and the only thing that really pissed everybody off is that they said you're gonna play as Clementine and Javier, right? They said it was gonna be like 50-50. It really wasn't. It was like 90% Javier and 10% Clementine. Most of the time you're playing as Javier. I mean, you got 10 minutes of every episode as Clementine or less. It's like, come on. I don't understand that. And it really pissed everybody off that Kenny or Jane or even that Wellington, all like everything died. Like, come on. You really had to kill Kenny off? Like, I don't know. I felt if he went to Wellington, he should have been alive, honestly. I don't know why he wasn't. Maybe a little Easter egg. Even Krista, too. I don't know why they, like, shoved all these characters out of the window. Or even Molly. Molly's character was really cool. I was hoping she was going to come back in one of the seasons. Even this season, too. I was hoping. Her character was pretty cool, honestly. I really enjoyed her character. I mean, Kenny, if you went with Wellington, I think he should have had, like, an ending, too, as well. I mean, he would have came back and helped her or something like that. I don't know. Or even AJ should have got Kenny's hat, too. You don't really. I don't know. I feel like his hat was a waste then. I think if you want Kenny, he was the better option, honestly. Wellington, boring as well as Jane's character, which is I don't know. Her character was terrible. I don't know why people really enjoyed her character. It was kind of strange to me. I mean, Kenny was in like 10 episodes, and then they're gonna kill him off. Like they gave you 3 options to kill Kenny, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. I don't know. I just really liked Kenny's character. But hopping on to the Michonne series, there's nothing really wrong with the Michonne series. I'm not gonna lie about that. Her episodes are short, obviously. You get to meet this group. I mean, she was really suffering with her kids type thing. So she was about an apocalypse for 2 to 3 years, I believe, because it's during the comics timeline, and the comics is still like 2 to 3 years in. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her character. I feel like the comics though should move up their timeline. Like Carl seems a little too old to be honest too. He looks like he's 15 or something like that, and he's like 13 or 12, whatever he is. He's about like 13 or 12. And it's kind of weird. Seems a little strange to me that they didn't really change the timeline or move it on towards that, even with Robert Kirkman's comic. You know, I really enjoy it, but that's what Michonne's timeline takes place. It takes when she was leaving after the Whisper, or not the Whisper War, All Out War, and it wasn't that bad, honestly. The only thing I would really have to say that was kind of annoying is that kind of her boat crew dies a little bit. I think it was one dude, the British guy. We had Sadiq there too as well. I'm not sure if that's the same Sadiq in the comics. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm not really sure. It's not the one from the TV show, I'll tell you that. But it wasn't a bad season. I mean, Michonne's character wasn't that bad, honestly, either. If I had to give it a 1 to 10, I'd probably have to give it at least a 7. It wasn't really interesting. It was fun to play, but it's not like something I'd go back to, like the final season, or even a New Frontier for that matter. New Frontier, like I said, I really enjoyed. It was probably an 8 to 8.5 season type. Michonne, definitely a 7. I just didn't really like it after that. It just, I don't know. I was hoping they would finish like Clementine series, and they really didn't after that time. Even after a New Frontier, a lot of people are pissed off. Just finish the storyline, you know. But if they actually do keep doing Walking Dead games, I would like to see the New Frontier maybe wrapped up with a Javier's character, you know. But I got a little British there. Well, Javier's character I really enjoyed. I'd like to see him back again. But for the final season, I already talked about, so like I said, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 season. Like, I don't really give 10s like that as much, but season 1 was definitely 10 out of 10. It got a lot of Game of the Year awards and stuff like that. Definitely the final season is definitely a 10 out of 10. Season 2 is about an 8. New Frontier, I have to give it an 8.5. And Michonne, definitely a 7. There's nothing I really enjoyed about that as crazy much as like Clementine's character, who was new and fresh. Michonne, we kind of knew. I mean, the comics is not bad with her type of character, but I think she's better in the TV show than the comics. That's just my personal opinion. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. This is gonna be my last Walking Dead video, probably for a really long time. I really like the game and everything like that. Maybe one day we'll revisit down the road. Maybe I'll play like another season or something like that. But thank you guys for watching. I know it's like 15 minutes of me blabbing. I just want to thank Skybound obviously for saving the game and finishing the storyline. There wasn't really much to finish up though. I think they said too. They said 90% of the whole game was done too when they hopped on. So that was pretty cool. And thank you guys for watching my series. If you did, hit the sub button, helps the channel grow for right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's gonna be it. Thanks for Telltale making a great series, from taking it from Robert Kirkman. And other than that, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, boy.